Good morning, everybody. It's just the empty void of my soul. Still eating those coffee-laced pecans, they are very good. And then a corgi visits. All right, so we have our Silver League playoffs today. I think they're the last ones. Then we have a couple days off where I can hopefully get some work done. All right, we're not missing anything right now. I am for Gabi. I feel like a lot of people are going to be for Gabi. Mr. Arbase. Oh. 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 They're Rex. Whoopsies. Why is this not listed properly? Very, very annoying. The way of the koala, so sitting all day in a tree and eating eucalyptus and getting chlamydia. Okay, I'm gonna be deleting all this garbage. There we are. Yeah, sometimes the recs don't show up in the, the folder. I know I just said the F word, I'm sorry, guys. Oh my goodness, T90's already 13 minutes into the stream, or the game. All right, guys, we have a good old Three Kingdoms DLC matchup here, as we have Gabi in the red as the Jurchins to the northwest, and as Dawei here to the southeast. In the blue, it will be Bad Koala. It would certainly be fun to see either of these players in Gold League. AoE ruined from my failings as a caster, or just in general? It's always so hard to keep track of. So we're just going to catch up to T90. Speed up to like 14.5 minutes. Yep, it is. Well, it's half in co-cast mode still. Yeah, that's the way theme. We are just waiting until I get caught up at around 15 minutes. Looks like Gabi got some nice early damage. GTA is in co-cast mode? You're very perceptive. That is indeed the case. Basically, we just have to mix up all the audio sliders whenever we co-cast so that we can properly hear who I'm co-casting with. And now the audio should be back to normal. Whoa, wait, hold on, wait a minute. This is like I look up and, oh my goodness! 准备就绪, indeed. Well, one archer's applying some pressure over there, but Gabi's got a lot of damage done. Now, I think Gabi was in gold last season and then got knocked down, so it'd be cool for her to get back up. Oh. Thank you, Father. Oh no, it was Gookie who was in Gold League and knocked out. Yeah, Stone Please was knocked out of Gold League last season and then got himself all the way up to Platinum. Well, nothing too crazy happening so far, but Gabi certainly with a big eco lead, 9 villager lead right now, holy cow. And this is the thing with Dawei, is that they're not a civ that really wants to hang around in Feudal Age all that long. You want to get your eco upgrades and then go up to Castle Age, right? That's where you get the Haeguang Cav, that's where you get the Xianbei Raiders, and that's when your eco can really start to take off. Not a lot happened. I mean, to be fair, not a lot happened when I slowed down, which was like 4 minutes ago, when there was 1 dead villager. And then, like, I immediately look up, and then, like, a bunch of vills die. In my defense. Hey, I'm 2K now, you can't question me. Well, Skirmisher v. Skirmisher here, peak Age of Empires in action. I mean, Jurchens themselves are a civ that don't normally want to hang around in the Feudal Age unless you're going mass scouts, in which case, of course, they can be quite good. But as it happens, because you got that damage done, you're just fine with whatever your civilization or game state is, right? You both have regular old Skirmishers. That's not terribly exciting. Both are on 2 archery ranges, but Gabi is going to be able to get a faster Castle Age time behind it, and it's not going to be very close at all. Also, shout out to our base and Petito. What they do, guys, is actually really cool. They pad the Rex so that they all have the same file size, 9.75 megabytes. When normally, you know, you can tell if it's a long game or a short game just by the file size. And, you know, you can try and avoid it as a caster, but sometimes, like, you'll accidentally see it because you have to be moving all the files around anyway, so it's a nice touch from our lovely admin crew. Bad koala some manners? I mean, koalas are not known for their manners, to be fair. Gabi, actually, I don't even know if that's her name. Is her first name Gabi? Nope. Oh, Ana Gabriela Lopez dos Santos. A JPEG file of doubt. The bigger the doubt JPEG. Good to see Doubt back up in Platinum League, although it's sad that Villosa won't be. I honestly think Villosa would be a lot more competitive in Platinum League than a lot of the guys who are there right now. I think I saw Arbe's post in T90's chat, someone asking like why there aren't up and down matches where it's like the losers of Platinum and the winners of Gold League like face each other to decide, you know, who goes up and who goes down. Because that's what GSL did back in the day for StarCraft, and I like that a lot because it meant that, okay, you don't have this awkward situation that we have this season where you have players who are really good in Gold League because they just lost in Platinum League, and then you have players who did very well in Gold League but aren't competitive in Platinum. But their reason for not doing that was that they didn't want players to coast in Platinum League and then only go crazy in their up and down matches, which I actually think is also fair for Age of Empires specifically, because players will coast if they can. So I do find that interesting rationale, because like that would never be the case in StarCraft. They would be, you know, lambasted. They weren't seen as giving it their all. Anyway, Gabi takes game number 1. Very well done from her. Do I get a draft? Might be Doubt's last Platinum dance? I don't know. He played pretty well. Doubt's going to be very hard on himself and say he didn't play well, but I thought that he showed some very good decision-making and understanding of win conditions. I would be somewhat concerned that maybe the pace of the game is a little too fast. At, like, the top levels, but I don't think it's, you know, irreconcilable. Anyway, Mapuche were banned. Incas and Tupi are first pick. It's interesting that people are just like, oh, Muisca aren't even good. Like, we've literally gone from, oh my goodness, all of the civs are completely broken due to the Chompy Rush, to, okay, maybe it's just Inca and maybe Tupi, but especially Inca. Oh, crap, the Rex. I want to see some Tupi, man. I want to see the Toopsters. And we're gonna get it. Now let me tell you, so long as it isn't a Chompy Rush all in, I will be very excited. Guys, what do you think the odds are that we're gonna see Bad Koala here in the blue as the Tupi, our first Tupi sighting, at least my first Tupi sighting, in a tournament game? That's not gonna be for an instant Chompy Rush. I swear, they're gonna nerf Chompies this week, and literally no one's gonna play the Sims anymore because they're like, oh, I can't do the thing that was completely broken. I mean, it's not even like, it's far from the most broken thing that's ever been in AoE 2. But it is overpowered. You can't do the overpowered thing, so the rest of the Civ is just garbage. Oh boy, guys. Here we go. I have a corgi behind me. Man, I want to see Tupi, like, trying to overwhelm Turks. Wouldn't that be fun? I always have a corgi. He is pretty omnipresent. Anyway, here we go. These walls ain't quick enough. Anyway, just need to quick wall those two vills in and you're fine. Obviously, this is very tough on your early eco. Bloop. Well, now you're gonna start to wall this area in or something? I don't know. It's the degenerate 2P stuff. No. Scout's gonna try and go for some value here. I mean, if Gabi can get the win here with Turks versus 2P, when it's her last pick versus the number 1 pick of Bad Koala. Honestly, I feel like that would say a lot about the Chompy Rush. And maybe it's not quite as OP as people thought. Although this is honestly so annoying that I would want to see it nerfed anyway. But in terms of it, like, the power level being way too high, I think that would be a blow for those who say that it's completely broken. Into TC drop? I don't think it'd be very good. Because the value there is attacking with your town center, not your chompies. I mean, like, this is a huge investment into not a whole lot of a benefit right now. I mean, it's 2 chompies made very early on and the forward villager. Again, very early on. Got a Smettlement now coming up in the back, though. And at least you can garrison it with the 2P. This must be just out of range of the TC, that's annoying. It's at least some value you can get. I don't really know if this is worthwhile. I mean, I guess if the thought process is they have a villager punching, so you can have a vill repairing. Maybe. But, I mean, Bad Koala's not really going to be able to click up in the immediate future. He's actually making more chompies, whoa. Kasawa. Alright, Feudal Age coming in, 22 pop. You are slowed down by the Chompy Rush. I don't think there's really a whole lot you can do in terms of avoiding it completely. Get housed? Yeah, that's true. Anyway, just go into archers. Okay, cute little move here. Make the settlement in the middle. You can garrison the villagers for protection as needed. Not a bad idea. But let's see if there's any follow-up plan to the Chompy Rush. Remember, the Chompies do lose to Militia in a head-on-head fight due to having less HP. I'm getting some value there. Res collected are in favor of Gabi. Upgrading the militia to the more powerful men-at-arms. That said, you're not walled right now as Gabi, so you're gonna struggle to actually catch back up. But the Chompies are actually going home, which I don't love. Okay, obviously these guys are gonna crush the Chompies. No DBA for Gabi. And here comes the forward archery range. Doodle H just now on the way for our blue player. Oh. Gets the kill. And guys, like, this is a bad early game civ from Gabi. And probably the second strongest Chompy rushing civ. Now, the Chompies can, of course, avoid getting attacked, but the villagers can't. And that makes this a little bit tricky. Of course, you're going to try to engage with everybody together. Gabi with 2 villager kills. Just lost one of her men-at-arms. Archers are coming in. I don't know, guys. Again, like, I genuinely believe that the Chompy, like, the crazy Chompy aggression stuff is annoying enough that I would want to see it nerfed, even if it's not completely bonkers busted. But this doesn't really feel like, oh my goodness, broken strat. Range now coming in. You are getting your resources back with your lost units, says Bad Koala. The value. Villager's gonna keep garrisoning for now, but you're so far behind in archer numbers here as blue. A higher level, absolutely. Blacksmith coming in. You got a lot of farms coming up here at the back. DBA coming in now for Gabi. Obviously, she has a huge advantage at the moment. And those vills are going to be in for a really bad time, except the archers kind of go a little too far. Regardless, all but one of the vills is going to die. Also, apparently all of the villagers garrison inside the tiny hut as opposed to the big hut. Because that's where the flag is. But there's no door from this hut to this hut. So they're literally just sitting in the tiny hut instead of the big hut. Make it make sense, chat. Is storage. Alright, more Chompies are coming in. Only 5 vills can go in? Ah, yes, of course. Alright, I mean, lots of swordsmen still here for Gabi, which I like a lot. They trade very well against the Chompies. And the men-at-arms in a straight-up fight have 5 more HP and 1 more attack. Of course, the Chompies get the advantage of being able to pick the fights, like that's, you know, the whole thing with the unit, but I like having these men-at-arms here as a really good meat shield. Scale mail armor is going to be a nice one, though, especially since fletching's already in. Gabi just now getting fletching for herself. Seven Vil lead, by the way. I mean, both have a lot of idle time, because that's just kind of how the game works when you have one player going so freaking aggressive. Second range now coming in here for Bad Koala. Scale mail armor coming in as well. padded archer armor. Get all those blacksmith upgrades. Alright, Gabi, not being careful enough. Oh, very good engagement here for bad Koala, and a bit of a misstep from Gabi. That said, she still has the better army. House, absolutely. Unending value. Anyway, this game's honestly looking super over. Kokatu. Well, Chompy Rush not broken confirmed. Decisive victory there for Gabi. Again, literally, it's with Turks, too. On a map that's good for an early rush. I mean, that's something we can all learn from right there. And once again, we get to not see the South American Civ played as an actual civilization. Yeah, that is interesting for sure. Gabi up 2-0. 1 game away from getting into gold. Or 2 games away. I know how to count. Where did you learn to count? It's funny watching him respond to every little sound. For the trush? Or the crush? I think it's a pretty good one. It's a very short rush distance with a fixed spawn. Yeah, that was the split, is that Bad Koala got Tupi and Gabi got Inca. Alright. We got the game. You wanna see Incas? Guys, do you think that in this game, we will see another Chompy Rush? Oh, gee. Alright, guys, 1 sec. Uh-huh. Alright, sorry about that. First I had to blow my nose. Well, might as well get more coffee while I'm up. The Corgi Rush is definitely better than the Chompy Rush. Are we crushing on Gabi right now, guys? I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure she's a taken lady. And not taken in the, you know, the Liam Neeson sense. Well, already... Wait, is that Lou? Why is she a Ville behind? Oh, she did get Lou. Well, let's see how the Chompies are gonna go. Don't want to appear shallow. She is good looking. And I mean that in a friendly and respectful way. Alright. Remember, Scouts and Chompies do trade evenly. I wouldn't hate to see them get bonus damage against Cavalry. Like, you lose an... Oh, jeez, Gabi. Yeah, obviously she's trying to deny the dock there. I wouldn't mind seeing them lose one attack. And then you get one bonus damage against Cavalry that goes away when you get the Chompy Runner upgrade. It's a little weird. We've never had an instance of you get bonus damage until you upgrade a unit, then you don't get bonus damage. But because you're getting higher base attack anyway, you're still going to do more damage overall. So I actually think that it's a little awkward, but when you have a unit that replaces both militias and scouts, it's kind of a necessity. I think that would be a good change for the unit. Buildings? I don't think they have bonus buildings in Dark Age. No, they don't have any bonus damage versus buildings in Dark Age. No, just the... It's literally the same as an Eagle Scout. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of people's like frustrations with the Chompy are actually incorrect assessments of their stats. They're not faster than Eagles. They don't attack faster. They don't get more bonus damage. They just get 1 versus shock infantry, which is Eagles, and then 2 versus siege weapons. You see Incas? I mean, Incas are great. They're probably the best of the South American civs. I mean, they were already a very strong, a little overtuned civ before, in my opinion. Oh my goodness, look at the value. The value. Now they're super good. I mean, they're just so flexible. That's always been the strength of the Incas. I mean, I think they are a well-designed civ. But yeah, they're good. But this is the second time in a row where the Chompy Rush has felt incredibly underwhelming. Bad Koala click it up a little bit later, which is, again, fine. I think people rushing up to Feudal Age after they see the Chompy Rush actually was probably just a mistake. And you need to kind of go back to the ye old days when you'd click up a little bit later with the stronger eco. Now Bad Koala's going to be going forward. He's got the Swordsman. To building bonus. I mean, it's the same exact thing with Militia. Militia don't have many bonus damage versus buildings. Men-at-Arms do. Fish alongside? Yeah, you don't have the resources for that, though. So Gabi basically keeping it a land map. I mean, Romans were pick 5 for Bad Koala, so it's not like the last pick, but I mean, still. This isn't really speaking volumes to this being completely broken, you know what I mean? Thanks, Nuka Crypt. I was very, very happy, and T90 was so nice yesterday. You know, I feel a little bad at times because T90 is so nice to me all the time, and I poke fun at him constantly. But you know, that's the way of the world. That's my love language. First 2 games, I mean, the first game was just one-sided. The last game was interesting because it was a 2P Chompy Rush against Turks that looked terrible, and this game is another Chompy Rush that looks pretty underwhelming. Patronize T90? I mean, no, okay, that was pretty funny. He can take it, he can take it. He knows I have the utmost respect for him. Oh yeah, but like he was really nice and he like asked me about my game that I got 2K in at the end of the stream. That was like, oh, he's a nice guy. Next to the, because it was next to the gold and the wood line. It was the Wombo combo. Anyway, great reaction here from Gabi. She is 2 vills ahead now. Bad Koala's accrued a lot of idle time. Now the Archer is here as well. And honestly, this counterattack has been somewhat unimpressive. Now, this is some good value. Okay, well, the scout goes down, but you do get 2 more villagers, so that's still totally worth it. And yet, Gabi, 2 vills ahead. Scale mail armor coming in. Obviously, the Roman swordsmen are going to crush the Chompies in a head-on fight with that extra armor upgrade. Getting housed, though, as well as Bad Koala. What's funny is that we could easily see Gabi win this game, but in spite of the Chompy Rush instead of because of it. Because the Chompy Rush wasn't very good, but it was really Bad Koala not being effective with the counterattack and Gabi having good defense that's landed our red player in this good spot. That said, the resources collected are insane for Romans. Egg-laying egg-laying wool milk pig. Interesting. So is that like a saying for, you know, one thing does it all? That's pretty fun. Well, some skirmishers are here as well for Bad Koala. Tries to make something like that. Ah, yeah. I mean, it seems like something that would be like done in not friendly fashion or not admiring fashion. Anyway, Bad Koala's fighting back here, and again, his eco is so much better, and those Chompies just cannot deal with the men-at-arms in a head-on fight. They need to keep running. I mean, to be fair, running is in their name. Gabi walling in the archery range, though. Very good from her. And looks like she will be trying to sneak some vills here to the south. And looks like Bad Koala will be building a forward dock, interestingly. But Gabi gonna be losing. Oh, you do have the vills on stone there to the back. Gabi has to be super careful. Populations are even. The vills have been good for Gabi overall, but Bad Koala's been fighting back, and Bad Koala with the Roman eco absolutely able to maintain that pressure. And the thing is, Bad Koala also has the better army, right? You have the Men-at-Arm plus Skirmisher with the infantry armor upgrades. That is a very strong unit combo. DBA coming in for Gabi, though, and that's going to be a very helpful upgrade. Bad Koala, though, has the dock, although no fishing ships as of yet, and no double bid-axe either, which is very big. It's crazy how you get that much of an eco lead without even double bid-axe, man. Romans are so silly. Yeah, good defense so far here from the Bad Koala. Now, is Bad Koala an evil koala, or a koala that's very bad at being a koala? That's what I want to know. My settlements are all over the place. Gabi's had to build 2 houses this whole game. The settlement bonus was honestly pretty crazy. Irm's cleaning up more units there, though. Added archer armor in, and now the fishing ships are queued up. Now, neither player really has a good food eco. Gabi is starting her farming, which is obviously very important, but... I mean, it's not like it's awful. 9 farms, I guess, versus 11. We also have the fishing ships coming in. Oh, Chompy gonna be able to find the build there. Very nicely done. Bat Koala. Koalas aren't bats. Don't be ridiculous. Anyway, that archery range is under a lot of pressure. I mean, even without arson, that's a lot of men-at-arms. Forcing out another defensive tower. Meanwhile, looks like some more random units are dying over here. Chompy still don't have any blacksmith upgrades. Again, the food eco is the main issue here for Gabi. That tower will be successful, though, and that's more vills coming forward. I mean, these are 2 very aggressive players. Guess I never really talked about that, but yeah. Both Bad Koala and Gabi, not known for being passive. No! Rip. Those Chompies ran into a hooker, man. And that hooker was not friendly. Another defensive tower coming in on the wood/gold. But man, are things getting real messy. Cannot enter Australia due to the risk of ecosystem introducing bats. Oh, man. I never really got, like, why bats are so scary to people. I think they're cute. Maybe I'm weird. Anyway, more dead vills here. It's been rough for both players. There's been little skirmishes happening all over the place, but Gabi's defending. My issue is that her eco is just not where it needs to be, especially when it comes to getting to Castle Age. Oh, actually trying to repair there is Bad Koala. Oh, jeez. Okay, this might be it, honestly. The multitasking is very difficult. Bad Koala is selling his stone, so he can't actually afford another tower. Random bill dying over there, but again, it's Bad Koala with no eco upgrades, mind you. The crush got crushed? Absolutely it did. Now, Gabi can still go for a mix of archers and slingers in Castle Age, so, like, in theory, it's still totally fine. Don't necessarily think Chompies would be her best option at this point. You still just have that super nice flexibility with Enkas. But I don't think any of this matters anyway, because her eco's too bad, and she's not going to be in Castle Age, and Bad Koala is going to be in Castle Age, and you know the rest of the story. Archer's trying to launch a counterattack. Actually, this is completely undefended, to be fair. I guess there's one men-at-arm. Yeah, it's going to be not bad, but not good enough. Scale mail armor coming in, but just, you know, the game's going to be in Castle Age here in a moment. It's actually going to be Longswordsman. Always fun. I always had to call the Batman to evacuate them. I mean, they are vectors for rabies, so that's obviously not good. And we can kind of blame them for COVID, which is also not good, but that's not the bat's fault. Alright. This is looking pretty darn over, Gabi. And there's GG. Bad Koala, putting the point on the board. 9% more efficient in economy. That food collect a difference, man. Anyway, well done there to Bad Koala. That was his #1 home map. And once again, the #1 pick Chompy Rush Civ, it just didn't even look that very good. I wonder what T90's chat's going on right now. Right now.
The highest level, though, I think, like, if you expect it's coming, I'm in agreement that champions need some type of adjustment from the devs. I've made videos about it already. But yeah, now at this point, like, these players know about it, and both players have counted it very nicely. So impressive. And I think Gabi's build was actually really good. I think that whatever we saw from Bad Koala was just because other people told him it was good. That was kind of not, but
yeah, that's funny.
Gabi's build was actually top tier. It didn't end up working out there. What I would have liked to see from Gabi is I would have liked to see a dock. I think you deny your opponent's dock and you add a dock yourself. I think having some safe eco in that
the
game
5% that Romans get for free.
But so far the DLC
I mean, no.
Have not
that's it's Koala. Your villagers are working at their own efficiency. Like, it's relative to what your own villagers can do. So it's not like Romans are going to be 5% ahead no matter what. It's really 5% on top of the 9%.
With 2 of Bad Koala's home maps being played at this point. So finally got a win on High Tides, lost on Quarry. Has Coast Arena, but I think it's Gabi's choice now. So Gabi will go for maybe 3 different maps: African River, Seychelles, and Zimbabwe. Okay, I have a really bad idea, but I want to run it past my viewers right now. So you know how it works in AoE2, where the loser gets to pick their home map, and you go into the next one, and you... All
right. Well, hopefully we'll get the next game in just a moment. But let's see what's next. I mean, I have no idea. We have a lot of normal-looking civs left, so nothing too crazy there. I mean, I doubt we'll see polls. They are not a civ that is in the pole position. Come on! They are absolutely stupid animals. They are nowhere near as intelligent and noble as the animal behind me. Few creatures are quite as graceful and majestic as the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Yeah, I did know that koalas are actually, like, objectively very low neuron activity. Alright, African River is next. As a brain? Well, I mean, the thing is, eucalyptus is not even, like, a very nutritious plant for them, but it's all they eat. But hey, I guess it's worked out for them evolutionarily. Yep. It's chlamydia, actually, that the koalas have. They're basically a dumber version of a sloth. Anyway, Bad Koala, Blue Japanese, Gabi, Red Dravidians, 2 very normal civs for this map. Likely going to be some more fireworks early on. Drop Bears, yes, the most terrifying one of all. All right, just pushing in those early zebras. A Slav? No, it's Dravidians and Japanese. We don't see Slavs picked in tournaments. Actually, I think they're, like, statistically one of the least picked civs. Sloth. No, sloths are not Slavs. And Slavs are not sloths. I mean, unless it's a lazy Slav. Then it could be a Slothic Slav. But, you know, we can't generalize. Yeah, it's an animal native to South America. Or better. So really, it's a matter of it's a unit that has similar stats to an Eagle Warrior in Feudal Age or an Eagle Scout in Feudal Age, but they train much faster, and you can start getting them in Dark Age. So the thing is, like, they just hit you so fast, and it's just difficult to be able to defend against them if you're not prepared. Now, they aren't faster than Eagle Warriors, and they actually have worse HP than Eagle Warriors. Although they aren't as hard countered by swordsmen. Although they do lose to them. But yeah, it's just the rushing potential that's overbearing with them. Throughout the rest of the game, they're totally fine. Alright, fishing ship's on the way. Fishing ship's on the way. It's a little bit faster for Bad Koala. Nice build. But yeah, I mean, it's a combination for sure. If Chompies were attached to a civ that, like Byzantines, they wouldn't be all that great. But the thing is, all of the South American civs are designed to be aggressive. Which you kind of need, right? Not only does it fit thematically for all of the civs, but when your civilization doesn't have cavalry, they need to be able to take early initiative effectively. Just like Dravidians themselves, the civ that have awful cavalry have a great ability to go aggressive. Need a barracks? Yeah, I mean, you start with one. It's your scout unit. But to make more of them, you need the barracks. And they require a feudal age upgrade like men-at-arms. And they can build outposts, which is very helpful. Alright, feudal age is on the way here for BK. He's got a barracks on the way. Remains to be seen if he actually wants to go for the men-at-arms. More Pierce armor? Not than Eagles. No, they have the same exact Pierce armor as Eagles at every stage of the game. Buildings in Feudal? Well, they get 1 bonus damage. Well, I mean, the Feudal Age upgrade will give them 1 bonus damage versus buildings, but that's still only slightly better than Scout Cavalry. It's worse than men-at-arms. With 1 less base attack and 1 less bonus damage versus buildings, they're actually 2 less damage against buildings a hit than men-at-arms do. With the advantage, of course, being that you can get more of them to the front line faster. So, I mean, it's useful there. Anyway, Gabi coming forward. Meanwhile, Bad Koala also going forward. Yeah, you figured the sparks were going to fly in this set. Alright, Doc coming in. jack of all trades. Basically, it's a hybrid between eagles and swordsmen. So it's a bit more flexible than either unit, but not as good in like the specific roles that eagle warriors have, and they're not as good in the specific roles that swordsmen have. Versus cav and better versus infantry. To a degree, yeah. Again, it's the exact dynamic that I said. They're not as good as regular infantry against buildings or against other infantry. And compared to eagle warriors, they're not as good against archers. Or monks. Chompies do have bonus damage versus siege, though. Kinda need that. Anyway, here we go. Deleting the palisades there. Kind of interesting. Oh yeah, Chompies also, don't get bonus damage against cavalry, whereas eagles do, so Chompies perform very poorly versus cavalry. Especially heavy cavalry. They should be changed? I don't have any problem with slingers right now. I think slingers as trash units is actually more interesting than slingers as, like, the hand cannoneer one-to-one replacement. Anyway, archery range, not happening yet. Oops. Is how fast you can field them? Yeah, exactly. It's the fast train time plus the fast movement speed. Now, they actually do train slower than militia, but the fact is they train faster than eagle warriors. Bad Koala getting a little bit housed right there. Here on the water, it's Hulk time. Scout actually goes down there. Yeah, I mean, they'll probably need some stat tweaks. I do think they might need 1 or 2 more bonus damage versus infantry. But it's cool. I like the unit. It's an interesting design that there isn't really a good one-to-one comparison with the slinger in the game right now. Which I like. It's not like, you know, Gen Swordsmen, which are literally just Huskarls, but slightly different. Or, Shenbei Raiders, which are just Kipchoks, but slightly different. Or Oceania? Well, the thing is, the slingers have, like, South American clothes, so I don't think that they would do that. Hard to balance? Uh-huh. And again, I'm like 95% sure that they weren't allowed to make elite upgrades for those units. It's the only reason that they're so janky. And the easy solution would be to add another unique unit, and I'm pretty sure they weren't allowed to add other unique units because they didn't want to have to pay for the new models for the units. Knowing how everything in Age of Empires is done as cheaply as possible. Roman warfare? It would look very strange if the Romans had Andean slingers. Again, look at the slinger. It's a South American unit. Alright, Vil going down there. Gabi's losing a lot. That's a lot, in fact. Getting fully walled in there as well. Otherville gets sniped. Did have a skirm bonus? If they lose having good cavalry and get a skirm bonus instead, I would be totally fine with that. Balearic? Yes, it's just people from the Balearic Islands. Anti-raiding unit? Like in reality? I guess that might make sense. Well, Bad Koala seems to have a pretty insurmountable lead, I'd say. I guess the only downside is he's not super close to Castle Age, but because his eco is so much stronger, it feels like all he needs to do is play pretty safe, and I feel like he should be good to go. Total, nope. I generally don't play many different video games. Alright, yeah, that tower definitely needs to happen. Probably should have happened a little bit ago. You might end up losing a villager or two if you're not careful. I'm less sure. Yeah. Well, are there going to be enough skirms here? Vills are coming forward. These are going to be some necessary losses. And honestly, guys, Gabi's close to clicking up to Castle Age. She's coming in with more archers, and perhaps Bad Koala is just really underreacting to all of this. The cost? Well, I mean, I think the biggest issue is that they're an infantry unit that costs wood and gold. I don't know why they felt the need to do that. I don't know why they don't just cost food and gold. Too strong or anything? I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. Romans are an annoying civ, but they're not. They're annoying because of their early game, not because of their late game. Dude, yep. Makes them also very good on low eco. Well, Gabi's gonna be up to Castle Age faster, but she's losing a lot of archers here. Well, I mean, it's that classic unfortunate situation where you hit Castle Age and you've lost your entire army. That is not ideal at all for Gabi. Love to see a forward siege workshop, and of course that is exactly what we're going to see. Gonna run? I mean, you really didn't have the space to run. Play aggressive? She is playing aggressive. But unfortunately, Bad Koala just ended up outproducing skirmishers. And actually, Bad Koala could just drop a castle and go samurai. Real talk, guys. You see the big skirmisher investment now. And there's going to be a siege investment as well. Only mode that Gabi knows? Indeed. Oh, there's the castle. Or thing. But, you know, Gabi is very much an aggressive player. Alright, defensive siege workshop coming in. More vills are going down. This castle will secure a lot of gold, though. And what is Gabi's next step in her master plan? Probably at least one TC. But, I mean, just look at the res difference, guys. That's insane. Yeah, Samurai are going to be really good here. Compared to ye old days, I think they have one more melee armor, I think. They have 2 more attack and 10 more HP. Ooh, Mangonel on 2 HP, rip. But all you need is a glancing shot there, and that's exactly what Bad Koala does. Oh, I mean, the Samurai are going to be very tough to stop once you get more than one of them. But the issue is that neither player has a good food eco. AC numero dos coming in. And that is actually some more good value. I'm actually going to get 4 vills here. I mean, Gabi now has the vill lead, but her resources are just so freaking bad. Also, don't you love all of the Hulk-based gameplay? Isn't it fun that we just replaced fire ships with Hulks? Because the water triangle is still fundamentally broken because galleys are too bad in hybrid maps and way too good on full water maps. Alright. Our Brazilian player going to add a 3rd TC in just a moment. Fishing lines coming in for 4 fishing ships, which feels a little excessive. Oh yeah, I forgot the food cost decrease as well. Stable coming in. Guess maybe like an elephant to take down the mangonels, but Samurai obviously very good at destroying buildings. Well, don't want to run into the TC fire there. And I mean, 35 to 11 army, even though a lot of it's ships, it's still a huge difference. And Bad Koala looking to tie up the series. This is not Doubt versus Villasa, that's for sure. These players just going swinging. Oh man, Morville's gonna be trying to cross here. Oh no. What a mess. The Borderlands games? 2 at the top. 3 and 4 together. Then Borderlands 1, then the pre-sequel. And I'd put Wonderlands with the pre-sequel. None of them are bad games, though. Alright, random battle elephant coming in. And guys, we're going to be getting the tied series in just a second. Yeah, I totally played. I really enjoyed Borderlands 4. I'm playing the new bounty pack. Oh yeah, Samurai are great. Too big? The open world wasn't too big, it just didn't have enough to do in it. And Borderlands does better in these more, like, closed situations. Like, something Borderlands 2 did very well was that you had a lot of different terrains. Whereas Borderlands 1 was basically everything was just a desert. Borderlands 2 gave you a lot of different areas to explore, and you're kind of getting that in the like the Stone Demon DLC with like the cave exploration, which was pretty cool. Anyway, that is the Dravidians losing to the Japanese. Indeed, the Corgi cam. As one wonders, how on earth is that comfortable? Dash is 8. Alright guys, let's see what game number 5 is going to bring us. I mean, Costa Rica, Seychelles, and Zimbabwe are all pretty different from one another. Well, it's like you have Seychelles and Zimbabwe, which are like on either end, and then Costa Rica, which is like those two maps slammed together. Oh. We back to being a loaf. Seychelles, you've probably seen it in previous tournaments. It's been around for like a year or so. Alright, I'm waiting. The best perhaps? I don't know. Really enjoyable. I liked El Dorado, but I mean, I'll talk about it in the review. I think that if you're going to go the route of making, you know, the big decision as to who you're going to serve, I feel like it needs to be more. There needs to be more reason to do it. Mr. Dog, I have nothing for you. You were sleeping on your back less than 5 minutes ago. Come on, T90, what are we doing here? Different for each faction, and yeah, but that's like a ton more work, right? I mean, think of the cost difference between you know, just changing the start positions versus like creating two entire different campaign paths. It's like you can tell but they're only allowed to make 5 scenarios per campaign. And I actually think that's a bit of an issue at this point. I think all of the last Chieftains campaigns would have benefited from another scenario that wasn't just a build and destroy and attack the same exact enemy again. I mean, to be fair, it is very different than anything we've had. We've never had you, like, change your start position based off of, whatever. But all the campaigns were significantly more simple than I thought they would be. Which isn't necessarily bad, but like I said, I kind of want to... I need to replay them, and I want to digest my thoughts. Because I thought all of the campaigns were good, but had something missing. And... Oh, I mean, yeah, you had... It wasn't Aztecs, it was Mayans. All right, guys. Game number 5. Gabi will be in the red as the Koreans to the west of Seychelles, and to the east in the blue as the Lithuanians. It will be bad Koala, much less of a water sieve. With my stomach? I always think with my stomach, man. Speaking of which, I'm going to go get some more coffee-flavored pecans and coffee. All right. You could not connect with characters.
Speaking.
I wonder if that has to do with people having a harder time connecting with the non-European characters.
Closer. Kajsa, Kajsa. Closer. Speaking.
But I do think that the writing style is too plain, and there's like a lack of grandiose aspect to it.
대기. 준비.
One more!
Closer.
Oh my goodness. Well, Bad Qual also got housed. Not ideal. Forward Doc coming in over here. Coming off the 3... Again, I enjoyed all of the campaigns. I thought they were all fun. So at a basic level, they worked. But I felt like they all had something missing. They're still blue, red, and green Chinese. Yeah. Three Kingdoms campaigns weren't the greatest.
Sveiki. Ką įsakysi?
Well, gonna have a little bit of idle time. Still clicks up, 9 seconds idle time, not the end of the world.
Sveiki.
Sveiki. Je?
Aš pasiruošęs.
Well, this is awkward.
Klausau. Sveiki.
저요?
Ką įsakysi? Klausau.
Well, the barracks is gonna come in.
Aš pasiruošęs.
Our ratings. Well, that's because
Sveiki.
what players like in the campaigns are being able to sit back, be under no pressure, and just building to a giant army and steamrolling everything. That's generally what people want in this scenario, or in a campaign. And I think with only 5 scenarios, you kind of need to make most of them exactly that. But I feel like you have a missed opportunity in the 6th scenario to give you a bit more of a gameplay break, or a break in the gameplay loop, I guess you could say, from the exact same thing over and over again. To, like, give you a different setting when it comes to like population or like a limited tech tree or something.
Je?
Aš pasiruošęs.
대기.
You know, something that allows you to engage with the game in a bit of a different way.
Je?
Like Mapuche felt like they really missed having like a low population rating scenario. I mean, you had the two Capel, which you didn't get a standard eco, but it still was like very large in scale.
저요? 예? 대기.
But like you didn't really have like that opportunity to just use like a few Bolas riders and Konas, like dart in, do some damage, dart out. Nice snag there from Gabi. The Muisca campaign really missed a monk scenario. It's a monk civ, and you have no reason really to ever make monks.
Klausau. Ką įsakysi?
저요? 대기. 예? 준비.
저요?
Ką įsakysi? Aš pasiruošęs.
Gonna snipe another Vil? Not quite. Not quite.
Savavaliai.
Still, Bad Koala is a little ahead in terms of resources, even with the villager loss. Does have one more fishing ship.
Ką įsakysi?
I mean, yeah, but that's not like using the monks.
준비.
Like, I'm talking like a 50 pop limit scenario where you're like in the mountains and like have to like convert other tribes and you just have to like, you know, spam your conversions like that. Or any enemy starting an imp? Well, that's just kind of how it always works, right? Versus the Muisca?
대기.
Yeah, but you're against Spanish, right? So,
저요?
and they also put you against Teutons.
저요?
But yeah, that was always in an Imperial Age scenario where you didn't get the, well, they are both going to have Heresy and the Teuton team bonus.
준비. 대기, 대기. 저요? 예, 준비.
Kayısı giysi.
That's a nice monk scenario. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty good one.
준비.
All right. Just a few units hanging around here on the outside and on the inside. You have a dock here, but I don't think it's anything, like, too significant.
대기.
대기. 예. 대기. 준비.
Dava vale.
Expansion? Well, I'm pretty sure we're getting a Viking DLC next. $15. Oh, really?
예.
Leif Erikson.
대기.
Well, we already have Vinland Saga and Karl Sefni,
Bozo.
so it's like we're gonna have another Leif Erikson type scenario.
Kayısı giysi. Dava vale.
But no, I imagine that we're gonna have Vikings renamed to Norse and then add Swedes and Danes.
Bozo.
준비.
Why were the harder than the second and well, that's how it is supposed to be, right? The scenarios generally get more difficult. Oh, okay. I thought the fourth one was pretty tricky, and the last one was also pretty tricky. I mean, the Muisca campaign in general was fairly tricky. The first and third scenarios were definitely the easy ones. But no, it had a pretty good challenge level.
준비.
I really like the design of the last scenario. The last Muisca scenario I thought was very creative.
Dava vale.
Well, things are going pretty well here for Gabi, finally. Cleaning up on the land and on the water. Is Mega busted? Yeah, you kind of have to be smart how you use it, but it is obviously very busted. But you still get to engage with the Civ in a bit of a different way. Names don't pop up in enemy I've not encountered that now. The last Muisca scenario? Yeah, for sure. But like I said, I feel like you just didn't have enough of an incentive to make monks.
Dava vale.
예.
Bozo.
준비. 예. 예. 대기.
Anyway, Bad Koala's about to click up to Castle Age. He took some bad fights recently, but he still is overall had the much better eco, as we now have some epic Hulk-on-Hulk combat. Having Heresy? Then it's like... If they don't have Heresy and you have a big pop limit, then it feels like it's kind of busted, but if you could get it in like a smaller pop limit scenario, then it's not as big a deal. Spanish in the... Yes. Hello, puppy saturation. Yeah, again, I think that the naval rework is at its best on full water maps, but we never see full water maps. Hello, Matroid. Like, the rate at which players interact with water is going to be so much higher on hybrid maps, which people will see in tournaments constantly, and they'll probably play more of on the latter as well, because people generally don't like full water maps. And it's like you get these interesting dynamics in late game water, but late game water was already at least relatively interesting. It's the early game water that was terrible, and it's still literally just as terrible. Nice snipes there for Gabi. I mean, she's gotten some good value, for sure. Much more difficult? Yeah, I thought the fourth scenario was pretty darn tricky.
준비. 대기.
Kaiser Gizel.
Alright, Castle Age is on its way, but Bad Koala is already there. 5 scenario, it's a tough one, for sure. Good campaign finale, though. Is the easiest. I mean, if literally the difference is you have to fight 2 enemies versus you have to fight 1 enemy and you get an ally, that feels kind of silly. But I haven't played with allying with Kemen Chachocha yet.
준비.
And I'm going to start this today. I'm first going to do
대기.
like an update on like the whole tier list stuff and add in the like recover the Inca campaign.
저요? 준비.
Poor Azay. Azay's just fine. Alright, iron casting is certainly going to increase the building destruction rate. And Light Cav are running in here and getting some more damage done. This is looking better here for the BK.
대기.
With Nemekene. Again, I don't have enough of an expand. I haven't played it from both sides yet. Gonna sue them? I mean, look at how people reacted when I said that I thought York wasn't a very good scenario, and I thought Vinland Saga was an awesome scenario. Like, people lambasted me for it. I think that, like, what a lot of casual players want, and even not casual players, is just, like, these gigantic build-up scenarios with a gajillion resources, and you just, like, have a huge pop limit and just steamroll everybody. Really don't matter. I feel like it's a lot of technical stuff that you have to do to introduce the decisions with very little benefit. But is it true that they don't change the dialogue depending on who you side with? Because I think that is a huge loss in the immersion. Find Vinland Saga boring? I really enjoy Vinland Saga because it's like you have a tiny amount of, you know, Viking seamen fighting to explore the new world with limited resources. Like, obviously, if it were made today, you would have more raiding that you could do with the British and then add more with Iceland there as well. As a level, I think you could probably start with 9. Like, that's where the 9-vil start could come in, guys. I think that would probably just make the scenario a bit faster.
대기.
New playstyle? Exactly. And I think it's just that immersion and experience that you get with a scenario like Vinland Saga that you don't in a lot of others. Like, you wish to see the Sea of Worms. Behold and despair. Like, I really think you're missing a lot of that language in that you had in the old campaigns.
대기.
대기. 저요?
It feels like in the modern campaigns, you're writing a historical fiction short story. Finehair. Well, you had Harald Finehair, Bjorn Ironside, and Ragnar. Basically the characters from the Vikings TV show. Would call them racist? Yeah, I mean, I mean, the accents are racist, yes. But, again, I think when I do my review videos, I really want to show like a side-by-side of the actual written language and the VFX behind them. With including the music as well, I guess. Yeah, Ragnar is the gigantic one. Ragnar is it's just a little much. The thing is, like, once you get your big army, the gameplay loop is exactly the same. What's Gabi's win condition in this game? I think she's just pretty irrevocably far behind, to be honest. The map has a very long rush distance, and Bad Koala's getting his eco going, but I don't actually think Gabi's got a whole lot going for her. I mean, you can try and, like, go full tower creep mode. I mean, Koreans can probably do extremely well against Lithuanians on the late game on this map. But it would be a lot to ask for. AoE 2 as a DLC. We had Victors and Vanquished, and everybody hated it. I mean, not everybody, but people were very, 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 very unhappy with the gameplay style. Isn't there a second Ragnar? Well, I mean, there is a Ragnar scenario and a Bjorn Ironside scenario. There was also a Ragnar scenario with, like, just Scandinavia and England. But that was just the custom scenario. Philadelphia didn't include it in V&V. Vastly overstayed its welcome. I agree. I thought that you had the interesting gameplay loop, and then it just kept on going. Viking Raiders? Yeah, but the Bjorn Ironside campaign is, I think, impossible to lose. I don't know, it's just really dull in my opinion. It's just you have all these enemies that have infinitely spawning units in their base, and they never attack you, so, like, there's just nothing to do except wait around until you have a gigantic army, and then just go from, like, location to location and kill stuff. Don't dolphin sound it at me. Anyway, this will probably be an imp GG. Possible lose. Well, Ragnar had the thing where you had the Viking Raiders attack your homeland, which is really, really annoying that there's no way to stop that. Because you can't just have your army all over the place to defend against them. You don't have, like, the population. Yeah, you can absolutely die to the Raiders. And you have, like, no eco, so it's a little bit more difficult. Anyway, there's GG. Bad Koala, 1 game away from the Gold League. Gabi needs to sweep from here. She won the first 2 games, but that is 3 losses in a row. Landing places? Yeah, but, like, that's gaming the system a little bit. Rams to stop the Raiders? Oh, boy. Is Koreans losing to Lithuanians? That is Seychelles in the books. And so far, Gabi's lost both of her home maps. Finishing Ragnar is extremely... Well, I mean, with the Yolms Vikings being ridiculously OP... Yes, you did, Tom. Although the Rams and Raiders are in different divisions, so they don't actually play each other very often. Or they're in different conferences and subsequently different divisions. They only play each other once every 4 years. Because he had to be? Anyway, Zimbabwe and Coastal Arena are very different maps, so I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work out. Considering it terrible? I mean, it's just, again, I don't know. Like, once you get a town center and an economy, the scenario is insanely easy. Derbies? Yeah, we don't really have that in the NFL, and I think it's kind of maybe a bit of a missed opportunity. But LA's weird because neither the Rams or the Chargers are super popular in LA. Because both teams were not in LA for a very long time. Guys, Eric, I think it's a fun scenario up until the point when you have to... once you get to Carthage, it's a really dull scenario. Kings of Cambodia? Yeah, that was a pretty interesting scenario. Mstislav, I thought, was very weirdly balanced. Like, they want you to, like, fall back and defend against the Mongols and whatnot, but, like, you barely have any production. So it's not like you can fall back and defend the different cities easily. You just kind of have to, like, wait around until your allies slowly kill them. I also thought one of the best and most interesting scenarios was the one where you're stuck in Tenochtitlan and the Aztecs are all trying to kill you. That was a good one. Down we ain't... no, Philadelphia is very much done. Philadelphia and Bassi have both retired from custom campaigns. Jacqueline as well. Anyway, Malay for Gabi to the north. Tournament life on the line, or at least, you know, Gold League life on the line. Bad Koala going to be in the blue as the Byzantines to the south. No, Bassi and Lord Bassi are different people, funnily enough. Lord Bassi is Swedish, Bassi's German. Yeah, I think that the negative reviews probably were not great for Philadelphia's mental state, and considering he was one of the biggest proponents of adding 3 kingdoms to the game, I think that also, and the fact that people were very unhappy with that, also didn't do much for his mental state. Like, I'm pretty sure he's one of the biggest people who pushed them to go in the direction of 3 kingdoms.
Apa sasananya, Baginda?
Have you played Henry the Lion? Yes. It's on my YouTube channel. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Anyway, as far as, like, matchup goes, it is a Byzantines matchup. That said, without making a lot of fire ships anymore, because, you know, hulks, feels like Byzantines lost a lot of oomph on hybrid maps. Eventually finish the final level? No. That was, like, you know, I've got other things in my life I need to do than just total infinite unit spam in all directions. Oh, thanks, Effie. I appreciate it. I'm sure we'll do more in the future. Oh! Oh. From the campaign, I am indeed. NPC though is like feels like a strange. Yeah, it feels like a strange way to describe Ornlu.
Apa sasananya Baginda?
People hate on Victors and Vanquish for two reasons. One is because it's content that mostly existed in the game. And two, that people don't like... People much prefer full campaigns as opposed to single scenarios. And three, people really didn't like the lack of classic build and destroy gameplay. That, again, people, much prefer. A campaign creator? I don't really have the time for that. I also don't know how to script AI, so it's kind of a moot point anyway. If I didn't have to script AI, I could probably make some good campaigns. I think I'm creative enough for that. But yeah, I don't know how to do AI. Nor am I a master of the editor, although I'm sure I could learn it. Yes, I totally agree, and I think Philadelphia was surprised that I was kind of negative on Victors and Vanquish, because maybe what I guess he didn't appreciate, at least for me, is that my standards and what I expect for a custom campaign are very different from what I would expect from a real campaign, official campaign. Campaigns have the luxury of not having to be that polished because it's not official work, and can also be much more experimental in their gameplay. Make one single campaign? I don't know. Bad review it? Well, it was marketed as, okay, all those scenarios are getting much more polished. If anything, I think it would be fun to do like a completely creative, like, fictional fantasy campaign. I used to really like drawing fantasy maps as a kid, so I think it'd be fun to do something like that. Voices? But they didn't even have voices. They only had narrator dialogue. Anyway, nothing too crazy happening so far. Gabi's going 2 docks. I think she's just going to play defensive, and then get a good castle age time behind it. Bad Qual, though, is going to go for a castle drop of some kind. Maybe castle drop into Fast Imp. An LOTR campaign? I don't think I'd want to do LOTR. I think I'd want to make up my own thing completely. King Arthur? I don't know, actually. You'd think somebody would have made one by now. Age ups in Portuguese? Avançou para idade feudal. For who Ornlu the Wolf is? Ornlu works better as a mysterious character that no one quite understands. Anyway, Bad Qual does have more fishing ships, and he is going Fast Imp, almost certainly. But is he going to lose his fishing eco before he gets the necessary food to click to Imperial Age? Full meme campaigns? Well, tower is incoming. I don't know if this was Gabi's plan originally, or this is an adjustment based off of how much slower her opponent's uptime was. With the voice narrator? Yeah, but I don't actually like playing custom campaigns all that much. Like, it's not something I do for fun if I'm not making videos for it, and viewer interest in custom campaigns is a lot lower. Inspired by Gollum the video game? I don't know. I don't think I can recreate the Gollum game's platforming ability. Oh boy. Well, the Hulks are here. Two fishing ships down already. The resources collected are still pretty even, which is good for Byzantines versus Malay here. Gonna try and get in some more defenses. But look, as you have nowhere near the resources for Imperial Age, or even you don't even have the resources for your own castle. So it's like, what are you doing, homie? Maybe just not preparing for Gabi going on the offensive. Good ones like Aegidius and Apernic. I mean, I enjoyed those for sure. But honestly, most campaigns, custom campaigns, don't have that level of polish. And like I said, viewer interest isn't really high in them. All right. You're still really far away from Imperial Age, though. It's bad to call, even with Byzantines. And you? Yeah, I know that the campaign makers in the game really want me to play more custom campaigns or like other AoE campaigns that they work on and like other titles in the franchise, but I don't know. Is it too cynical for me to not want to make low interest content when I'm already like barely making interesting content in the first place to the average viewer? Oh, 5 dead fishing ships, and you're still not that close to clicking up. To pay me? Yeah, doubt that's gonna be a thing. As custom campaigns, unfortunately, you are not a very representative sample of the average Ornlu viewer. But my problem is I think people really like watching my stuff for like when a new DLC comes out or when a new patch comes out. But there isn't any content I make that's like, you know, not based around new stuff being added to the game that's interesting. With the bad jokes, I mean, who doesn't? Alright, I guess you're about to click up, but man, is this a mess. Remember when I talked about the food income being a big issue and actually getting the resources for Imperial Age? Well, you're almost there. And almost. There you go. The average Ornlu viewer, like I said, I think the average Ornlu viewers are the ones that just watch when I make new content. Or when new stuff is added to the game. New content is added to the game. On the screen in the first place. Again, I don't think Fodler's a very representative average viewer. Like, I do well when new DLC comes out. Like, I mean, I'm doing pretty well on YouTube right now, but even then, even now, the little Last Chieftain stuff, I think, is starting to fade in people's interest. In every aspect. Oh, yeah. But even then, it's like, it's not like my campaign videos are that popular. For campaign, yes. And in that sense that I definitely appreciate what I like to do. Who's in a good position here? Well, Gabi has all the map control. Oh my goodness, this is a mess. Oh. Strategy games aren't popular? I mean, strategy games are always much more niche than anything else. At least have been ever since StarCraft declined after League of Legends became big. I think general community interest in AoE3 is extremely low. Alright, now Gabi's going to be kind of stuck in Castle Age, guys. So it's going to be a very odd situation. Gabi can't get to Imperial Age, but I think it's going to be really difficult to actually push here. Was abandoned? My impression is that they never actually started work on it. I think what happened is that Forgotten Empires had to go in and basically remake the China DLC for AOM, I think. And so they didn't have time to work on the AoE 3 one. AoE 3 can too, but that's two different things. AOM is almost certainly with a much higher player count than AoE 3. IOM is also newer. Oh boy, Siege Tower. I mean, Bad Koala can make this work, guys. His eco is bad, but, you know, with the power of clowning, all things are possible. Koalify the gold. Ha ha ha. Oh, 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 oh. Why is my AOM more... Well, I don't know if there's any AOM content that gets, like, good viewership in terms of, like, YouTube content or Twitch content, but I think the player base is at least somewhat high. And that's what the devs care about the most. I mean, online content creation is only a means to advertise your game. At least from the perspective of World's Edge. Oh my goodness, guys. The clowning. The clowning! Oh no. Fenrir Ornlu. That'd be fun. But it is interesting, right? Because AoE got crazy good viewership when Hera did like the 7v1 thing with the crossover from the Dota guys. Like, that was pretty wild. But I think that's just more of a representation that it's all about who is making the content as opposed to the content itself. It's very close. That's interesting then. I wonder why they're investing so much into it. I mean, Gabi's going to be a 0TC gamer very shortly. Okay, no, she's adding one over there to the east. Res destroyed, though. So much better here for Bad Koala, even with the much worse economy. I have never played an AOM custom campaign. Custom camp? Well, I mean, it's what people do as a passion project, right? You can't really hate on people for not making something insanely polished when they're just doing it for fun. Make... What? AoE 4 is basically just AoE 2, but made it into AoE 3. It's AoE 3-ified AoE 2. Well, the Treb there is sniped. If you had, like, some monks, maybe that'd be a little bit better. Oh, no, the converted Karampits are running in. Oh, no. That might be it, guys. Earth? No, again, I really just play AoE in Borderlands and occasionally Nintendo games. Effortless? Well, I mean, again, it's not like, you know, you have to play it. It's not like it's literally just there if you feel like it. Oh no, guys. Oh no, poor Gabi. Perfectionist. Well, I thought it was looking real bad for bad Koala. I mean, that fast imp was rough. Yeah, the one cataphract was doing a ton of work. 8 kills on it. But I think the real issue for Gabi was that she overinvested into water, and then she went with the aggression, but she fundamentally didn't deny anything. Needed to be rolled at war. I don't know. I'm no expert as to what this time setting for a successful Age of Empires game should be. I mean, AoE 4 was successful. Right? AoE 4 definitely made a good bit more money than it cost to make. That could be good to try and experiment and innovate if you... I mean, yeah, it's just there has to be enough incentive to do so. Anyway, well done there for Bad Koala. Will be in Gold League next season. Gabi, unfortunately, going to be in Silver. Once again. But it's going to be in like a year anyway, so we will have to see. US up front. US is just the most OP civ by far. How we do it? Good year. I did no hope for 2026 being a good year. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all for watching. I'll probably be... Actually, no, there isn't TTL tomorrow. I think. Yeah, so it might be a couple days. I have a lot of other stuff I can do. So we'll see, guys. But thank you all so much for watching.